This year, we are really prioritizing our garden. We're ripping out all of the treated lumber and everything that was in this existing garden right next to our house, and we're replacing it with metal raised beds, cattle panel trellises. We're so excited to have this garden right next to the house. So let's get started on demo. This demolition aspect of this project was really daunting. We needed to borrow a tractor to move all of this rock and dig up all of this plastic. There was tons of non-permeable plastic layered in this space. And so it has been a massive job just to get all of this out so we have a fresh slate to work with. So we determined that we wanted to do raised beds that were metal for longevity and maintenance-free life, right? And I started digging around. I looked at a bunch of different companies and I came across Grow Right. I'm really excited. I love the design. It's modular, it's tool-free assembly, and it's actually a small family company in the USA that has come up with this design and is selling this product. So everything that I love, I reached out to them and asked if they'd want to partner with me on this garden project, and they said yes, which is incredibly exciting. So thank you, Grow Right. I'm super stoked to be working with you on this garden project. And you guys can check them out. I'll put links in the description and everything. So yeah, let's get going. Each bed comes in a pretty compact box. I'm interested to see how it's packed in here because I feel like this is really well packaged. Ooh, okay, directions. Those are important. So another nice thing is that you're not committed. If you pick one of these layouts and then you change your mind later, they are supposed to come apart really easy so that you can change your shape. So I'm gonna start, I think, with design F, which is a 5 by 3.5 bed. And then I might also try design E, which is 6.5 by 2. Hey, come check these out. These are my new garden beds. Aren't they pretty? Okay, so we're doing this square shape. So we're gonna do a corner piece, a flat piece, a corner piece, 2 flat pieces, a corner piece, a flat piece.
Which one are you doing here?
This one. And then we gotta remember to put the little support pieces in the middle.
Okay.
Okay, this is really easy to put together. You've got a side with holes and a side with little bumpies, and you just interlock them. And then you've got this little like stake, and it just slips in the slots. That's it, whole thing. Then on this piece, we've got to add one of these little support bits. So when we get 2 in, then we just stick this loop on and continue like normal. Oh my gosh, these are so easy to put together and take apart. Nice. You just gotta put this on. All right, there we go. We got 2 different configurations done in no time flat. That was so easy to put together. I'm super stoked. I think we can get these all done today. Let's go. Good job.
That's perfect.
Okay, we got it. That only took a couple of hours. We got them all put together and kind of roughed in where they're gonna go. I still probably need to come out here with like a tape measure and kind of fine tune so everything is equidistant and whatnot. But then the next step, we just need to do a town trip and grab cattle panels because we're gonna do like a little cattle panel arch tunnel over there. And then we can get them filled up with dirt and get them planted.
Between these.
I think between these only needs to be like 2 feet because I don't need to bring the cart through each row, but I wanna be able to bring it like down the main drag easy. Like I wanna have a drag that's
This is
easy.
more, this is, you know, dang near 3 feet.
So these are 17 inches deep and I probably don't really have to put cardboard down, but I have it. So I'm doing it just as a nice little weed barrier. So that'll be our very first layer. And our next layer is gonna be some branches. This just helps to fill up the bottom a little bit faster and it's gonna decompose slowly and add water retention and all kinds of good stuff. I gotta remember not to put it too close to the edge though, because my plan is to put the T-posts to hold my cattle panel trellises about 5 inches inside the bed. And I don't wanna have the wood prohibit me from putting the T-post in, so I gotta remember that. So we scooped up a whole bunch of bedding and composted manure from one of our neighbors, and that's gonna be perfect. We're gonna put some of the straw bedding at the very bottom to help fill up the layers a little bit, and then we're gonna be using the more actually composted stuff mixed with our topsoil for the top bit in the beds.
It's so loose, it might go down too far.
Okay, so we're just trying to mix the manure with the topsoil, and my husband's gonna go grab our rototiller attachment that goes onto our weed eater that we've never really played with before, so we're gonna see if that is helpful in getting this blended up.
I don't know.
I think that did a good job blending it up. Doesn't that look much more harmonious?
Yeah.
Oh, la, la. Definitely a few rocks here and there.
Holy crap. That's pretty damn low.
You are a stud muffin. So low. We're almost done. We decided to go with 5-foot spacing here for our cattle panel arched trellises. And then between them this way, we've got like 2.5-foot spacing. And we've just got our 2 long skinny beds left to put together. And we're gonna put them right in here. I think those are gonna be one for each of our girls to have their own little garden bed projects this year.
That was the whole reason I had this.
A little more. I feel like every year is windy, but is it getting more windy?
Oh, I swear, dude.
Oh. All right, we've pretty much got it done. It was pretty easy once we got the dirt in to just kind of lift up the edges and wiggle it to get it level. And I know it's probably gonna settle over time again, but we wanted to start off relatively level. So all that we need to do now is run to town and grab our cattle panels still. We grabbed the T-post, but we didn't grab the panels. I think I'm gonna actually work on planting it either tonight or tomorrow, and then we won't get the panels until the end of the week, but that's okay. We're so close to having this garden all the way wrapped up. So it pretty much rained all last night as soon as we were done getting the beds filled. So it was perfect timing. We got them filled just in time, and then the rain saturated everything really nice. We've got a little tiny break in the rain right now, and I'm gonna try to get some of my seeds planted and my transplants in before it rains again, because that would just be so lovely for the seeds and the plants to be able to get rained in a little bit. So I've got a mix with a bunch of seeds that I've been saving. This is my carrots, my radish, some spinach and bok choy and things, and it's just a really random mix. And I'm gonna mix this with sand and kind of sprinkle it and interplant it with lots of other things. I'm a very intensive, whimsical gardener. Nothing will be in straight rows and really planned out. So let's go get these in. Something that was new to me this year that I'm really excited about is a seed snail. I've never planted a seed snail before, but I've seen it on the internet for the last couple of years and thought it was a fun idea. So I started all of my dill in a snail, and I think I'll definitely use this method again. It worked really well to just get a lot of seedlings in a small amount of space with a low amount of effort. I'm gonna plant these kind of all over everything. They are really wonderful at attracting beneficial insects, and I'm hoping that the smell will also deter pests away from my cabbages, because I have just not had good success growing cabbages in the last few years. So I'm gonna do all the things and try to really baby my cabbages, because it's one of my favorite vegetables, and I just haven't been having good luck with them lately. I've got my promiscuously pollinated tomatoes. I'm super excited about working on this project. If you want more information on promiscuously pollinated tomatoes, I'll put info in the description. It's super fun. It's my second or third year working with these seeds. They're gonna go along this side in these beds closer to me right now, because this side is more southerly and it'll get full sun. And with the cattle panel arch and things growing up it, I'm thinking that the cabbages, the spinach, the leafy greens, things like that on that side of the trellis are probably gonna get a little bit of shade. And then with the way our house is, the first couple beds will definitely get late afternoon, evening shade. So some more cool weather things will go on that side. Anyway, I've got lots to transplant, not a ridiculous amount of variety, but some flowers, some tomatoes, some peppers, some herbs, beans, peas, all that good stuff. So we're gonna go ahead and spend the next hour or two getting this all planted out, hopefully before it rains again. So we got our T-posts in, and we actually decided to do something a tiny bit different than I was originally thinking we were gonna do, because I watched a YouTube video that made me think, oh, this is a better idea. So we put our T-posts inside the garden beds instead of outside. They're about 5 inches in, and that way we have a little bit of room inside the archway to kind of manage putting in seedlings or weeding or special watering or whatever. We just have a little bit of room to work inside the bed from inside the tunnel. I think it's a great idea. So we got these pounded in, and now we're just gonna bring over the cattle panels themselves, get them tucked in and zip tied down, and we'll have beautiful arched trellises.
It fits. Oh, that's huge. You want it that tall?
It's beautiful.
Can you reach it?
No.
Reach it.
Sweet. Yep, I'm holding it so it doesn't fly.
That is good.
Look at that, we have trellises.
I'll get some wire.
Or zip ties or wire or whatever. That'll be perfect. Looks good, right? And then we don't have to deal with string trellises and taking stuff down ever again. All right, we got these tied down. They're not going anywhere, and we're done. I'm so excited about this garden. It looks gorgeous. It was relatively easy to get all put together. A lot of elbow grease, but man, it just looks great. And I know that it's gonna actually last. It's gonna maintain itself pretty easily and hopefully produce a ton of food for us. I'm so looking forward to seeing what this gardening season brings, and I'll keep you guys updated, of course, as the gardening season progresses on how everything is doing and what the garden looks like at the end of the season once all of these seedlings grow in. And that's now going to be just the hard part, is being patient and waiting for all of our seeds to hopefully grow. There's definitely still a few things that we need to do. We're kind of planting new grass seed and waiting for that to come in. And we need to do some kind of flooring in the garden space, whether that's wood chips, weed barrier, hardscaping, which I'm kind of not leaning towards with like rocks again. But I'm definitely open to suggestions. If you have a top pick for a garden flooring for mulching the pathways, let me know what you think, because that's something that we still need to do. So thank you guys for tagging along with me and watching as we did this whole garden renovation project. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know what you think. If you have any suggestions, especially for, like I said, mulching those pathways, definitely would love to hear your suggestions. And I'll see you guys again in a month or two for an update. If you want more gardening content, go ahead and check out this playlist for all of my gardening videos. And if you want my latest video, go ahead and click right here.